Hello everyone, myself Nerityajeet. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. I hope you all are doing great, guys. So today's in this video we are going to learn about chemical coordination and integration. So without wasting any time, let's get started. So chemical coordination means our body uses chemicals like hormones. Hormones Our body uses chemicals like hormones to control and coordinate the function of different organs. So, body uses chemicals like hormones to control and coordinate of different organs. And integration means that all the different organs work together like a team. Work together like a team. So let's read NCERT. You have already learned that the neural system provides a point-to-point rapid coordination among organs. So as we discussed this in our neuron chapter, so in neural system there is a point-to-point rapid coordination of among different organs, and neural coordination is fast but for short period of time, for short lived, as the nerve fibers do not innervate all cells of the body and the cellular function need to be continuously regulated. So nerve fibers generate impulse or the action potential for a specific region or for a specific tissues and their cells. All body cells are do not innervate by nerve fibers. So for helping this, special kind of coordination and integration has to be provided by body. This function is carried out by hormones. So for helping a neural system, hormones. The neural system and the endocrine system jointly coordinate and regulate the physiological function in the body. So neural system and endocrine system both control and coordinate our body. Endocrine glands and hormones. So endocrine glands lack ducts and are hence called ductless gland. So basically glands are of three types, that is endocrine, exocrine, and mixed gland. Mixed gland. So in case of endocrine glands, glands do not have ducts to release their substance, that is hormones in case of endocrine glands. But in exocrine glands case, exocrine glands have ducts for their secretion. And in case of mixed gland, like example pancreas and gonads, gonads or testes or ovary. So in case of mixed gland, they also have ability by secretion through ducts or without ducts, or means secretion of hormones. So endocrine glands lack ducts, so are called ductless gland. Their secretion are called hormones. The classical definition of hormones as a chemical produced by endocrine glands and released into the blood and transport to a distantly located target organ has current scientific definition as follows. So basically, classical definition, according to classical definition, hormones are chemical produced by endocrine gland and released directly into the blood without any duct and transported, and these hormones then transported through blood to distant located organs. But according to new definitions, hormones are non-nutrient chemicals which act as intercellular messenger and are produced in trace amount or very less amounts. The new definition covers a number of new molecules in addition to the hormones secreted by the organized endocrine glands. Invertebrate whales is very simple endocrine system with few hormones where a large number of chemical act as hormones and provide coordination in the vertebrates. So in case of invertebrates, certain hormones or few hormones uses for their coordination, but in case of vertebrates, large number of chemical act as hormones and provide control and coordination of different organs of the body. So the human endocrine system is described here in this chapter. Human endocrine system: the endocrine glands and hormone producing diffuse tissue, yeah, cells located in different parts of our body constitute the endocrine system. Endocrine glands are pituitary gland, pineal gland, thyroid, adrenal, pancreas, parathyroid, thymus, and gonads. In gonads, testes in males and ovary in females are organized endocrine bodies in our body. So, uh, let's see these glands by diagrams. So this is hypothalamus, pituitary, pineal. All three glands are located in our brain, and thyroid and parathyroid in the neck region, thymus in the chest region, and here pancreas, adrenal gland, a superior part of the kidney, and testis in male and ovary in female. In addition to this, some other organs. So some other organs of our body act as endocrine glands by secreting hormones. Example: gastrointestinal tract, liver, kidney, heart also produce hormones. A brief account of the structure and function of all major endocrine glands and hypothalamus of the body of human body is given in the following section. So we will discuss one by one all these glands. Let's start it with the hypothalamus. As you know, hypothalamus is the basal part of diencephalon. So as we know that brain is divided into three parts, that is forebrain, midbrain, and hindbrain. So hypothalamus is the part of forebrain. Forebrain is further divided into two parts, that is cerebrum and diencephalon. And a diencephalon, hypothalamus and thalamus. So hypothalamus is a part of diencephalon, basal part of diencephalon and forebrain, and it regulates a wide spectrum of body function. It contains several groups of neurosecretory cells, or we can say well-developed neurons, called as nuclei, which produce hormones. So these hormones, as you know, hypothalamus is the master of master gland, master of master gland, master gland, and master gland is pituitary gland. So hypothalamus is the master of pituitary gland, and pituitary gland is master gland. So we call it master of master gland. So these hormones, which is secreted by nuclei or neurosecretory cells, so these hormones regulate the synthesis and secretion of pituitary hormone or the master gland. However, the hormones produced by hypothalamus are of two types, that is releasing type, releasing type, and inhibiting type. So releasing type order for secretion or release of pituitary hormone, and inhibiting type hormone, which are released by hypothalamus, are ordered to pituitary gland for inhibit their hormone. So hypothalamus are of two types. Hormones produced by hypothalamus are of two types, that is releasing hormone, which stimulate secretion of pituitary hormones, and inhibitory hormones, which inhibit secretion of pituitary hormone. For example, a hypothalamic hormone called gonadotropin releasing hormone, that is GnRH, stimulates this hormone, that is GnRH, stimulate the pituitary synthesis and release of gonadotropins. So basically, gonadotropin hormone is the hormone of pituitary gland, and this hormone only released when gonadotropin releasing hormone by hypothalamus is released. So this GnRH stimulate the pituitary for synthesis of gonadotropins. On the other hand, somatostatin or somatokinin. So somatostatin from the hypothalamus inhibits the release of growth hormone. So growth hormone is the hormone of pituitary gland, and if somatostatin release from the hypothalamus, then there is inhibition of growth hormone from pituitary gland. And if somatokinin is released from the hypothalamus, then there stimulation for or secretion for growth hormone from pituitary gland. So somatokinin is for secretion or for stimulation of growth hormone from pituitary gland, and somatostatin is for inhibit of release of the growth hormone from pituitary gland. So these hormones originating in the hypothalamic neurons. So all these hormones like somatostatin, somatokinin, gonadotropin releasing hormone. So all these hormones originating in the hypothalamic neuron, and then it pass through axons and are released from their nerve ending, and these hormones reach the pituitary gland through a portal circulatory system and regulate the function of anterior pituitary. So pituitary are of two types, that is anterior pituitary and posterior pituitary. So anterior pituitary is connected to neurosecretory cells or nuclei of hypothalamus by a portal circulatory system. So anterior pituitary is connected to hypothalamus by portal circulatory system, while the posterior pituitary region of pituitary gland is under the direct neural control of neural regulation of the hypothalamus. Means posterior pituitary is directly connected by neurons of hypothalamus, that is neurosecretory cells. So basically, this is anterior pituitary and this is posterior pituitary. So anterior pituitary is connected to hypothalamus by portal circulation, and these are hypothalamic neuron. But posterior pituitary is under direct control of hypothalamic neuron. So this portal circulation connect hypothalamic neuron to anterior pituitary region, but the posterior pituitary region is under direct control of hypothalamic neurons. So let's start at pituitary gland. The pituitary gland is located in a bony cavity of a brain, bony cavity of a skull, that is called sella turcica. So the pituitary gland is located in bony cavity, that is sella turcica, and is attached to hypothalamus by stalk and attached to hypothalamus by a stalk. So this is that stalk, and this is the pituitary gland. This is the pituitary gland, and this is the stalk, and this is the portal circulation. And hypothalamic neuron is connect to anterior pituitary region. This is anterior pituitary region by this portal circulation. This portal circulation, and hypothalamic neuron is under direct control the posterior pituitary. So hope you understand. It is divided anatomically into an adenohypophysis and a neurohypophysis. So basically, pituitary gland is divided into adenohypophysis and neurohypophysis. So neurohypophysis, also known as posterior pituitary. So neurohypophysis is posterior pituitary, but in adenohypophysis, two lobes present. That is, adenohypophysis is anterior pituitary, and it has two lobes. That is pars distalis and pars intermedia. So, pituitary gland divided anatomically into two parts, that is adenohypophysis and neurohypophysis. And neurohypophysis is also known as posterior pituitary, and adenohypophysis is also known as anterior pituitary. And anterior pituitary region, it has two lobes, that is pars distalis and pars intermedia, and pars intermedia is almost merged to pars distalis region of adenohypophysis. So anatomically divided into adenohypophysis and neurohypophysis. Adenohypophysis consists of two portions, that is pars distalis and pars intermedia. The pars distalis region of pituitary, commonly called anterior pituitary. So, because pars intermedia is almost merged into pars distalis region, so pars distalis region is commonly called we commonly call pars distalis as anterior pituitary. So, anterior pituitary or pars distalis region secrete six types of hormone, that is growth hormone, prolactin, thyroid stimulating hormone or TSH, adrenocorticotropic hormone ACTH, luteinizing hormone, follicle stimulating hormone. And pars intermedia secrete only one hormone, and pars intermedia, which is almost merged to pars distalis, this portion secretes only one hormone and called as melanocyte stimulating hormone MSH, that is for pigmentation of the body. That is melanocyte stimulating hormone. It work on melanocyte cell. However, in humans, the pars intermedia is almost merged with pars distalis. Neurohypophysis or the pars nervosa. So neurohypophysis is the pars nervosa, as in adenophysis, pars distalis and pars intermedia region. Neurohypophysis or posterior pituitary is also known as pars nervosa, known as posterior pituitary. Stores and release two hormones called oxytocin and vasopressin. Remember, neurohypophysis or the pars nervosa region only stores and release two hormones, that is oxytocin and vasopressin. Again, read, that is store, only store and release, not synthesize these hormones. So these hormone is actually synthesized by hypothalamic neuron, that is nuclei. So these hormone, that is oxytocin and vasopressin, is actually synthesized by hypothalamic neuron, and by hypothalamic neuron, which is so posterior pituitary is under direct control of hypothalamic neuron. So these hormone is transported from hypothalamic neuron to posterior pituitary region, and here store and secrete when needed. So which are actually synthesized by, so these hormone oxytocin and vasopressin, which are actually synthesized by the hypothalamus and are transported axonally to neurohypophysis or pars nervosa or posterior pituitary gland. Over secretion, uh, let's read these hormones. That is, first growth hormone, that over secretion of growth hormone. So as we know, growth hormone is for growth of the organism body. So over secretion of growth hormone stimulate the abnormal growth of the body, leading to gigantism. So if growth hormone over secretion at the time of teenage stage, or the puberty stage. So at puberty stage, if secretion of growth hormone is over, or the over secretion of growth hormone, then it leads to gigantism condition, and low secretion of growth hormone result in stunted growth, resulting in pituitary dwarfism. So at puberty time, if growth hormone amount is high in body, then it leads to gigantism condition, and if it's low secretion in body, then it leads to dwarfism condition. And excess secretion of growth hormone in adults. In adults, if there is over secretion of growth hormone, it especially in middle age, can result in severe disfigurement, especially in the face, called acromegaly. So, oversecretion of growth hormone at puberty stage leads to gigantism, and at adult stage leads to acromegaly, in which especially there is disfigurement of face shown, which may lead to serious complication and premature death if unchecked. The disease is hard to diagnose, so this acromegaly disease is hard to diagnose in early stages and often goes undetected for many years until changes in external feature become noticeable. Prolactin. Now let's hear about prolactin hormone. So prolactin regulates the growth of mammary gland. So prolactin regulates the growth of mammary gland and formation of milk, not ejection of milk. So prolactin hormone as a PRL regulates the growth of mammary gland and formation of milk, not ejection of milk. Ejection of milk is by oxytocin hormone. So and thyroid stimulating hormone TSH stimulates the synthesis and secretion of thyroid hormones from the thyroid gland. ACTH or adrenocorticotropic hormone stimulates synthesis and secretion of steroid hormones called glucocorticoids from the adrenal cortex. So ACTH stimulate the ACTH is a protein hormone. So it is protein hormone, and it stimulate the synthesis and secretion of steroid hormones from adrenal cortex region of adrenal glands, that is glucocorticoids. LH and FSH stimulate gonadal activity and hence are called gonadotropin. So LH, that is luteinizing hormone, and FSH, that is follicle stimulating hormone. These two hormones stimulate gonadal activity. We call it gonadotropins. In males, LH, that is luteinizing hormone, stimulate the synthesis and secretion of hormones called androgens from testes in case of males. In females, follicle stimulating hormone and androgen in males, follicle stimulating hormone and androgen regulate spermatogenesis, and androgen is formed by luteinizing hormone, and androgen with follicle stimulating hormone regulate spermatogenesis process, or the process in which sperm is formed. In case of female, luteinizing hormone induces ovulation of fully mature follicles, that is Graafian follicles. So in female, at the time of LH surge, uh, ovulation process occurs or at the mid of the menstrual cycle. So in female, LH induces ovulation of fully mature follicle, that is Graafian follicle, and maintains the corpus luteum formed from the remnants of the Graafian follicle. So LH first induce ovulation and maintain corpus luteum. Corpus luteum is the remnants of Graafian follicle after ovulation. So follicle stimulating hormone stimulate growth and development of the ovarian follicle in female. So follicular stimulating hormone, that is FSH, stimulate the growth and development of. So FSH stimulate the growth and development of ovarian follicle, and so fully ovarian follicle, that is Graafian follicle. So LH induces ovulation from the graphene follicle and maintains corpus luteum, that is remnant of graphene follicle. And FSH growth stimulate growth and development of ovarian follicle in female. MSH, that is melanocyte stimulating hormone, acts on the melanocytes or the melanin containing cell and regulate pigmentation of the skin. Oxytocin and vasopressin are the hormone which are stored and secreted from posterior pituitary, that is pars nervosa, and these two hormones is actually synthesized by hypothalamic neuron. So oxytocin acts on the smooth muscle of our body and stimulate their contraction. So oxytocin basically act on smooth muscle of our body, and its main function is to contract that smooth muscle. In female, it stimulates a vigorous contraction of uterus at the time of childbirth and milk ejection from the mammary gland. So remember, prolactin help in growth of mammary gland and formation of milk, and oxytocin help in ejection of that formed milk. So vasopressin acts mainly at the kidney. So vasopressin act mainly at the kidney and stimulate resorption of water and electrolytes. And so vasopressin act mainly at the kidney and stimulate resorption or the reabsorption of water and electrolyte by the distal tubule or the DCT part of the nephron, that is distal convoluted tubule, and thereby reduces loss of water through urine. So basically it reabsorb from filtrate, reabsorb of water and electrolyte from the DCT part of the nephron. So basically it reduces loss of water through urine, that is it reduces the diuresis condition. Hence it is also called as anti-diuretic hormone, that is ADH. So an impairment affecting synthesis or release of ADH, if there is problem in release of ADH, result in diminished ability of kidney to conserve water. So the ability of conserve water of kidney, so this ability is by ADH or vasopressin hormone because it reabsorb water and electrolyte. So this ability is diminished. So this ability is diminished, and water leading to water loss and dehydration. So because of result as dehydration occurs, water loss occurs through body, and this condition is known as diabetes insipidus. So let's read the other gland, that is pineal gland. So pineal gland is also located in our brain, the pineal gland. The pineal gland is located on the dorsal side of the forebrain. So upper side, forebrain, ventral side, and dorsal side of the forebrain, pineal gland is located. Pineal secretes a hormone called melatonin. So pineal gland secretes hormone called melatonin, and melatonin plays a very important role in the regulation of 24-hour diurnal rhythm of our body. So this hormone, that is melatonin, its main function is to regulate the 24-hour diurnal rhythm of our body. For example, it helps in maintaining the normal rhythms of sleep-wake cycle, body temperature. In addition, melatonin also influences metabolism, pigmentation, the menstrual cycle, as well as our defense capability. So its main function is to regulate 24-hour diurnal rhythm of our body, and it also body temperature, and addition, melatonin also influences metabolism, pigmentation, menstrual cycle, as well as defense capability of our body. So today we will cover this chapter till pineal gland. In the next video, we will continue this chapter with the thyroid gland. So thank you very much, guys. Thank you. If you like this video, don't forget to hit that like button and share this video. And feel if you feel if you feel any doubt related to this chapter and from here, feel free to ask in the comment box. I'll definitely answer your doubts. So thank you very much. Bye bye.